What's up, guys? Your boy Mikey Garcia. Just want to recommend the Fat Attack Stack. Help you increase your stamina, increase your endurance, increase your energy levels, and also burn fat. So don't forget the Fat Attack Stack by Snack.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Marcos Villegas, being joined with the one and only Teofimo Lopez via Zoom. Teofimo returns to the ring May 29th against George Kambosos on Triller. And bro, you're very rich. You are very, very rich now. Dude, congrats. I don't know why I said that as an accent, but man, you made some power moves there with this deal.
Um, yeah, man, things just turned out to be the way it was, and I'm forever thankful for it, and especially during these tough times. I mean, it's just a lot of things, man. I'm very thankful about, and heck yeah, man. What better way? This was all earned, and it showed. It goes to show you how much you the hardest worker in the room when you go out there and you striving for what you want. Um, you end up getting the blessings.
I guess, since all this happened, what's your take on it, on how everyone's reacted towards the news of you fighting on Triller now?
Um, I don't really get into all that per se, and the reason for it is just for um, I let my manager and everybody look into it, and then they'll tell me, and I'm like, okay, and then obviously, me going through my profiles and everything, I'll see things, and it seems like a lot of people have taken a lot of good feedback from it, a lot of the fighters and a lot of people overall, and which I'm very appreciative about. The reason why being is because it goes to show like, okay, you have a support at the same time. You're standing on something that maybe um, not a lot of us are very strong into doing or have the correct are very are courageous. Sorry to say, yeah, and those are the things, man. I guess it's a positive feedback, I can say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fortune favors the bold. That's I don't know if you heard that saying, but I think that saying fits with what you were just saying right now.
yeah, of course, yeah. So I mean, obviously you know more so how to word these things, and I just look at it, man. This is who I am, though. At the end of it, you know, love me, hate me, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just being as me, and I have the whole I think that's what we all need. That's all, man. Yeah, that's all. I'm very big on the support and everything. I'm so thankful because thanks to Triller and thanks for what they've been doing, now I have that access to finally do the things I've been talking about, giving back to everybody, to the communities. Now I get to have that chance, not just use the riches or whatever to come to just me. That's the part that I'm so actually looking forward to this. And it's not even for, so of course my fight, everybody. I want people to see me fight, do my thing, and show them why I'm still in the youngest to do what I did, and why it's still why everything's so big when it comes to Teofimo in the boxing game. I've earned my stripe. I want to say stripes, but I've earned my stripe to continue on to the next chapter. So doing so, man. With Triller, man, I got the access now to even do more.
How old are
Yeah,
you right now, Teo?
23.
Man, 23 years old. That's crazy. To I don't know, man. If I was earning that amount at 23, I would be scared because I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was young. You look like you're anchored, you're married, you're not out doing crazy stuff, but yeah, it must be a crazy feeling to get this type of success so young, right?
Dream big. That's all. Dream big, and always dream for bigger things. But you have to strive. That's all, man. You got to dream big, and with that, have faith and all of that, man. And the rest is just hard work. After that,
Yeah,
the rest will come.
for some weird reason, man, I get like this voice of my mom always tell me growing up, cuida tu dinero, cuida tu dinero. She'd always tell me that. She'd see me working hard, but she'd always say, save your money because don't let what happened to us happen to you. Don't throw away your
Yeah.
money. With this, obviously, this is a big deal, is a career high purse for you. But also, you know, I would imagine it sets you up for later in life, right? Like this is a purse where you could look at and be like, you know what, like I'm pretty much good now.
Yeah, absolutely. Where as a financial, like I got my financial advisor now, and I already have all things lined up in order to have that, where I could get to move the money, my money, and everything that comes in a better way, you know. And that way, there's money working for me, and not just me always waiting for the next paycheck or who I got to fight next to get a paycheck. Because that's exactly what happens for the fighters. You know, if you don't make sure that you watch your money, and that's why I tell a lot of people when they get to know me, or even to the fighters, like just take care of obviously your chickens, but also take care of the fact that this isn't a long term career. It's just not. Like there's people that have passed away, you know, in the ring. So it's just a very dangerous sport. And at the same time, you just want to make sure if anything ever happens that you have things already lined up in order for your family and all that. That's why I say love yours. You know, just take care of who's dead, who's been there for you since day one.
I always tell young fighters what you just said right now, that one, don't get involved with partying and the alcohol, because you have such a short window as a professional athlete. You know, it's
Yeah.
usually like 10, 11 years in boxing. And I always tell them, like, look, you bear down and focus for those 10, 11 years, make as much money as you can and fight for as much money as you can get from your fights, because let's be real, you never know what's going to happen with each fight. That fight can be your last fight for every single fighter that steps in the ring. And I always tell fighters, get as much as you can, because at the end of the day, you're the one in there fighting. Like you're the one in there taking punches, which is an underlying thing to what you went through with wanting the amount that you wanted in this deal as well. But I always tell them that, man. I
It
always tell
wasn't.
them
It
small
wasn't. It
window.
wasn't. It wasn't wanting. That's the thing. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
wanting what came as a purse bid. Anybody could have bid, and
Yeah.
whatever came came. You know, Triller just shocked everybody by doing so. So it's not about wanting. It's more so of the principle of certain things, and you know that's all it is. A principle of other things that come involved. You know, you have all the accolades, and it's not that you're. A lot of people are foreseeing it, but you understand like I've earned more, so I've earned the stripes, and I think that it's only you got to get your fair share.
Yeah. I don't.
It's all about that, man. But
Yeah.
in a positive way. But whatever came after that with Triller now, I mean, heck yeah. Now that's something that now we know what the open market sees in Teofimo that maybe a lot of people haven't seen.
So for those fans that are confused, or they are not familiar with the workings of boxing and how we get to this, they saw you on ESPN and now you're on Triller, and they're probably wondering like, hey, well, aren't you a top ranked fighter that fights on ESPN? How did
Mhm.
you end up on Triller?
So for everyone that doesn't know, there comes a point where and Marcos could probably understand. He understands this a lot more so. Really, what it comes down to is when the promoter and the fighter or the manager we don't all come to terms on the amount of on the fight. Then once we can't agree to the terms or not even negotiate to that point, to that extent, then it goes to the IBF where they put it up as a purse bid. Who wants this fight? Because they have to make the fight happen because of the mandatory situation that it's in, and there's a certain date to have it done. Um, so with that, you know, it brings it to anyone, any networks, and any promoters any promoters could bid for this fight, and that's what came to Top Rank put their in, the Zone put theirs, and the ones that got the part was Triller, and they got the rights to this fight. So now we've crossed to another network and another social media platform or and just that, you know. So it's all of that right there, and that's why now we're here, where we get this, and then the winner from that, you know, they cut the difference on the uh, on the deal.
So for you fans that are listening and watching, Top Rank had put a purse amount. Teo and his team felt that was very low for what he brought to the table, and they wanted more. They couldn't come to an agreement, and because of that, the IBF ordered the fight to happen within a certain date, and they put it on a purse bid so that anyone could come in and bid on it to get the rights to promote the fight because Teo and his promoter couldn't come to an agreement with that. Teo, you felt the fight was worth a lot more than what Top Rank felt. Can you touch on that? Why'd you feel it was a way more than what they were coming at you with the offer?
There's a lot at why not? Because you find the undisputed lightweight world champion. And the thing is that it's all on the line. Every person that fights for those, it's all four of the major belts, you know? And on top of that, the winner becomes undisputed. It's a huge achievement in the sport of boxing. When you become undisputed, you are pretty much in the books. And everyone knows that. You cemented your way because not many people have done it. Not many fighters have done it. So people want to do things like that. It's historic. So with that, there was just things. There's a lot to lose. There's always a lot to lose, but there's more to win.
Top Rank had said, not Top Rank, but I saw interviews with Todd DeBuff and Bob Arum saying, and this was their counter argument on that they felt that Kambosos didn't have like the name recognition, the name value to warrant a higher purse. What was your, I guess, like counterpoint to them saying that?
Whole counterpoint to it is that the man has earned his stripes to come to the point where he's my mandatory. Obviously, I'm not fighting someone that's a slump. They may not know the name, correct, or maybe not. But he has his followings in Australia. He has all his followings in Greece and all that. So he has a huge following as well. Why they wanted to make the fight happen in Australia was for those X amount of reasons. Obviously, due to COVID, the travel bans, it cut that. So maybe, yeah, in the US, they may not recognize George Kambosos as much. Maybe so. But a lot of people know Teofimo. And if you don't know, you will, God willing. So the whole thing is just making the fights happen. Obviously, by not making this fight happen with Kambosos, I have to give up the IBF lightweight world title. So that defeats the purpose of staying undisputed. And those are the whole things. I'm not going to give up my belt, so I have to take this route at the moment. It's more of a pit stop. Go out there or a detour. Go there, do what I have to do, and then we can come back and talking about the three queens and everybody that's talking about these other fighters in my division.
Well, we'll touch on those fighters in your division in a bit. So the day of the purse bid, were you aware that Triller was coming in, or did that take you by surprise like everyone else?
It did.
Yeah.
It really did. I didn't even expect that. They did the whole thing with Tyson and Jones and everything, and just to see that happen, I was like, oh man, they just like disrupt. They really did disrupt the game, man, and in a positive way, in a good way. And I think it is. I think it's for the better.
Were you watching live when the purse bid was happening?
I don't know if I don't know if I'm able to say.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
You were aware then, obviously, of what was going on. When it was all said and done,
aware.
You were aware. When it was all said and done, and the final amount came out to what they bid, what did you do? What did you say? Who did you call? What emotions were running through your mind?
I was getting coffee. And I was just like, I was about to start my day. I knew the time and everything that was going to happen and everything. And when my manager, David McWhorter, called me about it, I put down my windows and I was on the freeway and I just started screaming like, yeah. And I was just all happy, man. And I didn't know. I was just all over the place. I went and told my wife, and then I went to see my parents and told them as well. So it was real nice, man. Just telling them like, you're not gonna believe what just happened. So, and it's a great thing. I went pretty much to my family, man, and that was it. Just congratulated like the whole thing. Like, I just can't believe it.
You had
I just can't, man. A lot of things. There's a lot of things that I can't believe when it comes to the amount of I would say blessings, or the amount of good karma that has been coming my way. It's all like, it's everything at this age, especially, it's a full tank on you. And you're like, whoa. But at the same time, you have to work with your mental, with your mind, because it's the most powerful thing that we hold on to. And just that aspect, I have to psych myself and saying like, okay, we didn't really do anything. Even though what happened is like things that I shouldn't be doing. But obviously, these blessings and everything is coming my way for a reason. And I believe I'm gonna use it for, and I know I'm gonna use it for good.
You had your Jerry Maguire moment when that one thing where he's like, "Show me the money." I picture you in the driving in the freeway, but you did touch on something that I found interesting, and I was pondering myself, and I know I alluded to it earlier. Having all this so early on and making sure to keep your mental in check, so that in Spanish, there's a term. Hopefully I'm able to say it right because my Spanish is terrible. I'm practicing, so I apologize. Anybody listening? So que no te sube, que you know what I'm saying, right? So it doesn't get to your head, you know.
Yeah,
And I when you said that, I'm like, okay, that's a good approach because all this can come at you quick and fast, and it can change you.
it could change you for good or it could change you for bad. Mm, Bottom line is what you do with it. You know, that's what um, I was happy before it even occurred, and with it occurring, I was happy before, so it shouldn't change my aspect of that level of being like, oh man, I'm gonna go and buy me this, I'm gonna go buy me that, man, and blow your money, even though you want to treat yourself, but treat yourself in a way that is longevity. At least for me, that's how I see it. So the whole thing now is just where I want to coordinate and place those things. You know,
Yeah, no, that's a good approach,
mhm.
man. Because I don't even think that I have ever seen you really like some of the other boxers historically, like at the clubs or like buying a bunch of jewelry, buying a bunch of cars, and just throwing out their money like that.
Yeah. Well, that's for everybody. Everybody has their different tastes. That's all I can say. Everybody has their cup of tea that they like to pretty much sip on, and obviously mine is in a different way. Not saying that everybody has to be this way, but however, just be who you want to be. Whatever floats your boat, make it row. Uh, that's all it comes down to. I'm just very certain, like just certain things I want in my life and how I want to put them. Everything that I do is calculated, at least as much as possible. Obviously, there's going to be some mistakes here and there along that road, but I try to calculate every footstep and trying to be two steps ahead and of the fighters and of myself, even that.
So
Yeah.
a lot of fans were wondering when this happened. You're gonna
I know,
be
man.
well, you're gonna be your own main event, right? You're not gonna
Yes,
be on the undercard of like a
yes,
Jake Paul fight, of a Logan Paul fight. Like
no,
Teofimo is
no,
the main event of his own
yes,
card on this.
yes. It's my
Okay.
it's my card.
Okay. Like, a lot of fans were worried. They're like, "Oh man, they're gonna throw Teo on the undercard of like a Jake Paul fight."
Mhm. I don't know. I have it's my card. I have two slots, and it's pretty good, man. So I'll be the main event, and a lot of good eyes, man. A lot of great things coming, man. There's so many things already planned now that we discussed. I went to Triller's facility. I went to their headquarters, and it was great, man. It was awesome. It was awesome, man. I had a great time. They definitely welcomed us home, in a very positive way. And then we had great talks and a lot of great ideas that you guys are about to like. It's gonna be big news.
Can
Yeah.
you let us in on how they're gonna approach your show, your card that's different than what they've done in the past, and who are they thinking about putting on the card?
I at the moment, I'm gonna have to say with all respect, I there's just being careful on how we approach these things right now. That's all it is. There's a lot, so stay tuned. It should be in the works of us building this on, and we could really get down to the details afterwards. Is probably in a couple weeks. We're already talking about a promo, so these are already things I have to go back to traveling again, and we have a promo. Get to with Snoop Dogg and just have those entertaining moments. So that's all it is, man. It's great to know. Even back in I think what 2008, I got to see Snoop Dogg.
Hey, so that's real. That's not Photoshop. You were
Yeah,
really in the music video.
yeah,
Oh my God. Okay, I'm so glad you brought this up. How did that
yeah.
happen?
Um, it was during the time I met Floyd for the first time, and during that time, Floyd was and still is one of the major guys in the game. And I got to meet him, and then we had someone that had a connection over there that they were doing a music video the next day. And after I got to meet Floyd, the next day we went to this mansion up in I don't know if it's Malibu or something, man. It was big, and we go, and they're doing the shoot. I can see the guys. I see Snoop. And they're all in their section. You got other people doing, so they're recording the girls. They doing, man. It's just a movie. And mind you, I'm like 11, 12. I think even maybe even less. I don't even, man. I was and there's a whole bunch of girls. I'm this age, and I'm just looking. That was my legendary moment. Can't even go wrong with it. That was that was when I put on my jersey.
Did
And
did they
then
tell you like did they tell you, hey, be in our music video, or like you were just there and they threw you in on camera?
no. Everything was kind of pretty much aligned. They needed someone they wanted to do, and that was it was awesome, man. Yeah, we're not
Oh,
gonna
no
say no to
way.
that, man. All that, bro. Um, it was nice just seeing all that.
That's nuts, man. That's nuts. That's so funny and random because I see the photo of you with like your arms crossed with the I think the sunglasses and like the hat, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it looks like him, but is that wait, what? How did this happen? And now it's
yeah,
like you're gonna be involved with Snoop again. Have you talked to him about it?
yeah. We already spoke upon it, and
Yeah,
yesterday, yeah, it was hilarious, man. We just,
yeah.
man, it's all good vibes. It's all good, good energy, and you could tell. And he gave me some words of advice at the same time. So kind of like big bro type of thing, and that was the whole thing. It was just like and I took that in. I said thank you. I take all of that, man. There's a lot of great things coming. God willing. Anything can happen. And right now, at the moment, man, May 29th, um, Miami, maybe.
Maybe you pretty sure Miami?
Huh?
Pretty sure
Oh,
that
they,
it,
they
it'll be Miami? Yeah, you can't say. You
um,
can't say. You're keeping it. You're
no,
keeping
no,
it.
well, no, no. I mean, there's other opportunities. There's other
Yeah,
places.
but you would
So
prefer it to be in Miami.
at the way things are right now and how everything is going, absolutely, yeah,
Yeah. Did
absolutely.
did Snoop remember the video? Did he remember you from the video?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man, I'm so interested in this interaction. What did he say? Like, how was that? Did you like, yo, Snoop? You know, I was in your video like 10 years ago.
He started laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing, man, it was just he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna take care of y'all, man." And it was just the whole thing. It was dope in a way of like welcoming us
Mhm.
in a proper way now, and not like he wasn't before. So it's just great to catch on. He's like, "Dang, man." He's like, "I salute that for you, man." He really does, though. He respects it.
You guys got to do you got to film an interview. I would think you guys probably already did that or just
No,
talking
those are
about it.
those are the things that are coming into now.
Yeah,
That
like
so
film that
that's
music
the whole
video
thing.
again, do a flashback or something. That'd be great to see.
Oh yeah, of how it's going and or how it started and how it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's so many great things, man. I think this is good for boxing at the end of it. When we want to get back into it, the sport of boxing, it's great to just to set a new how can I say you're standing on as a fighter, but not it's not just for you. It's for other ones that are either upcoming or even the ones that are at the moment in some situations. So I think this actually wakes up the whole turns it around in a good way, in a very good way. And if I got to be the one to take those blows and stuff for it, then so be it. It's for a good cause.
So with you saying that maybe this is what boxing needs is something different. Maybe it could set a trend. Is this a one and done thing with Triller, or you plan on doing more fights with them? Like, how is that all going to shake out?
We'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We see what happens with Triller when it comes to the ratings and how everything is pretty much the production of it. Obviously, I've seen ESPN's production since almost my whole career. In a way. It's been maybe like I would say like 3 years. So of course, seeing the ESPN production now, I'm crossing platforms to another production and how they set up. Absolutely, it's going to be interesting to see. And then you have the zone and how they set up their fighters, and they have Canelo in the works in the loop. So it's great for boxing. You have PBC, you have Showtime. So I think we'll see, man, when that time comes. And right now, just things are literally in the works right now.
A lot of fans are going to be wondering too. You know, what's the status with Top Rank? From what you could find out there on the internet, you're still in contract with them. Like, how is this all gonna play out after this Triller fight? Like, do you have to fight for Top Rank again? Like, how does that all work?
Oh, this is all in the works right now. Right now, at the moment, I can't really speak upon what's going on behind the scenes. However, just things are in play, and there's a lot of things that could definitely turn around. So right now at the moment, we're just I'm just, for me, staying in shape, keeping my head leveled, and stay focused on what's on my task right now, and that's George Kambosos Jr. 19-0, 10 knockouts, and May 29th, or it could be June 5th. Really, there's two options right now that we talked upon, which are both great. I mean, really great. The commentators that will be on that platform is phenomenal, and just definitely will draw more eyes to the sport and to and worldwide. Yeah.
Got to ask you this, Teo. We've seen other fighters from Top Rank go and go on their own. You know, Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Mikey did it as well. He bought out of his contract. I know you're working through things right
Yep.
now with all that, but are you thinking that's probably the way to go with you, is to buy yourself out of the contract so you can go solo and be your own promoter, your own boss?
I go, if it happens, everything happens for a reason. So all things are possible with God. For me, it's my God. So all things are possible with God, and that's what I live and I stand on. So you know, the whole thing is, we'll see what, if it happens that way, then it's meant to be. If it don't happen that way, and there's another route that obviously the universe or whatever, how we ever want to look upon it, whether they want that. That's how I move my life, man. I'm like water. I'll be like water, you know, for a reason. You just go with the flow. You ride your own. You're riding your own wave, your own, or you're making your own wave, I should say.
Because I
That's all.
know, is there a worry that you might get frozen out because it happened to Mikey?
You want to say fuck that?
Well, you said it, but
Yeah. No,
no.
nah, not at all. Nah, I know that all these things play out the way they do for some odd reason, and that odd reason is in my favor. It's an even for me. So I do like odd numbers. That I do. So when it all plays a role, it's too much damage that's been done. So
So,
we look forward to seeing what happens next.
yeah, you've mentioned that. I saw a few other interviews that you did, that the
And but
relationship.
my thing is like, no, no.
Yeah,
I love Top Rank, and I love ESPN. ESPN has done a phenomenal job with me, and I love Top Rank. I do. There's no how can I say, there's no
ill will, nothing personal.
ill will, nothing like that. No. All I'm doing at this point in my time, just like anyone else would, is just trying to continue their job, trying to keep their job. And how do I keep my job? I got to do moves that may look, a certain way, but it's in I got to do what I got to do. Just like anybody else, I got to go out there and hustle. I got to go and do my thing.
Is
You
there
know,
a hope that you can work all this out? Like, I know that this is a rough patch. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but
there's
are you
nothing
hopeful?
really. I would say this. There's nothing really going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing that really should be going on right now. Everybody's quiet. We're on our thing right now. Top Rank's happy that they collected, and they're saying, they say proudly that they collected 800,000 in within 5 minutes. So that's on them. You know what I mean? And however people want to see it, my whole thing is that as a young fighter, I'm just trying to do what I do. That's it. Do what I'm really great at, not good at, what I'm really great at, and just keep that going. So this is all just um I won't say patch or anything. It's just a lesson that we're just going through right now.
So with that being said, then what can you say about the it's because you look at the situation and you think, from what we've read and what we've seen, that you guys are headed towards a split, and at some point, you're gonna want to split into your own thing, given the stuff that happened. I know that there's still time left on the contract, but what you said, nothing personal with ESPN and Top Rank. Can we see you still fighting on ESPN as yourself
Yeah.
with no promoter?
Yep, that all plays a role in everything that's going on. That all could possibly happen. There's a possibility there. So wherever there's a possibility, that means there could be a chance of it. So there's a fighting chance for it. Then yeah. So there's a lot of great things coming, man. The whole thing is that Teofimo has to just keep doing what he's doing and beat whoever they have in front of him, and the rest will play the way it needs to. At the end of it, Teofimo is, like I said, your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. So for everybody, um, it's a great thing. That's all I can say. It's a great thing for boxing. It's a great thing to change the sport in a much entertaining way that it needs to be, which it was before. Not saying that it's not as much now, but it's just it disrupts the game, and it shook it, did a 360, did an upside down, it turned it around, shook the bottle, and it blew up in a good way. And I know all the fighters and everything, they understand what I'm talking about. So this is just things happen like anything else. Some businesses are like that. Sometimes they fix things up. So just at the moment right now, we're just with Triller. We're doing our thing. We're promoting the fight as always, and just trying to entertain the fans and entertain the people that support us or that don't support us but still watch us.
It'd be crazy if Triller has a lot of money, if they came in and just like, hey, Taylor, we're buying your contract out. We're gonna put on events with you.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of great things, man, and I think that for everybody, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Fight, beat people that you need to beat. I'm talking about the boxers, okay? Don't need
Yeah,
nobody
normal
else
people
trying.
don't go fight. Yeah, isn't that good?
Yeah, no bueno. Um, and that's all, man. Entertain, and for everyone else that's out there doing different jobs, man, just go out there and make a difference in a positive way.
So give us some perspective here, Teo.
Yep.
Where did this friction all come about with you and Top Rank? Because I know a lot of fans are gonna see this and wonder like, well, I thought they were on such good terms, and then all of a sudden it took a big left turn. Like, was this friction already boiling over from the Lomachenko fight?
No comment.
No comment. Because you go for it. Because I know at the post fight you had made a comment that you said that nobody wanted to see you win at Top Rank when you beat Lomachenko.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say nobody. Nah. Mm-mm. I have a lot of people that I really were very pleased and thankful to work with. So, and they know who they are. They know the lump sum, and yeah, that's really much it. And they were there when that time came. So it shows. I have those, and just some certain degree. There's just some things that sometimes you just don't see eye to eye. It's a normal thing, but obviously even those that don't see eye to eye tend to make it work. So anything could happen. However, like I said, damage has been done. There's no way going back.
You don't forget.
I forgive. I just don't ever forget. Because for me to hold a grudge on somebody, that's not up to me. Like I live my life without regrets. If you put your tattoo, you say regrets. I'm just playing.
Don't ever do that, guys. Make sure your spelling's correct when you get a tattoo, please.
Indeed, and that's it, man. I live my life with just no regrets and go with the flow. So the whole thing, I forgive. I forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
Just will never forget.
So how does this? I guess you told me a few months ago, not a few months ago, 2 months ago, that 140 Ramirez Taylor. That you want
they
that
just
to
got
happen.
It done. They just got it done.
That fight just got made, but does this affect at all your ability to get the winner of that fight? Is that still in your plans? Is after this fight to go to 140?
I don't think there's so many possibilities. I don't see why not. Me being 135 undisputed, It's a possibility where, going up, usually this is how it works, where the champion could become ranked number one or number two going into the other fights, at 140 because he became a champion in another division. So, and become a mandatory for those guys and see what they do. And if we push on it, we can make those fights happen. God willing. So there's a lot of things. So I don't think it does anything. It shouldn't affect the fight. However, it's up to Ramirez and Taylor on what they do as well on their behalf, whether they want to move it to 47 or they want to stay and make the fight happen. To shut my big mouth up. So
I love it, man. That's if you're able to do back-to-back undisputed. Holy Jesus!
Actually, speaking of it, I don't know if Clarissa Shields, she mentioned that she can't. I don't know. I don't see the other belt in her neck. Today she fights, I believe, right?
Yeah, she has
So
pay-per-view.
Clarissa, yeah, pay-per-view. It's a full women's boxing card, which has never really ever been done.
Yeah, big ups to her for doing that.
Big ups and a huge accomplishment for her. She's making her own wave, you see?
Yeah.
And she's doing it for the women's, and I think it's a huge thing to jump on. So for everybody, if you don't have anything doing today, or you do have something doing today, go and make sure you buy the pay-per-view for her fight and just support the women's, because I'll definitely be tuning in.
I told Clarissa, because I had a chance to speak to her, and I feel just in general, people should embrace.
So Clarissa, I'm gonna buy your pay-per-view. So I'm hoping in return you can buy mine.
There you go. I just think in general, people should embrace people that are going out and attempting to do great things, or at least trying, because at the end of the day, they're taking a risk that normally a majority of people aren't comfortable doing.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, man. You gotta sometimes take risks in life. That's really what it comes real down to, is just having fun. A lot of people say, like, you ever hear that thing that says, life is what you make of it.
I thought you were gonna say life was like a box of chocolates for a second when you started that. I'm like, you're quoting Forrest Gump here.
That really comes down to that, So just life is what you make of it, so make it happy. Make your life happy. And she's doing a hell of a job, man. Clarissa Shields, kudos to her, man. Like, that whole movement, and then for everything, just women's in general, just them going through all that they're going through. For them to stick on, man, I think it shows obviously there's equal amongst that as well. In all sports and everything.
No, good point, Teo. With this camp, you're back in Vegas, or are you going over to Kansas? Are you changing it up from what you did with the Lomachenko fight?
No, like I said, I'll be here in Vegas. I'll be doing camp in Vegas. Well, there's still also talks of New Jersey as well. Going back to New Jersey, we had our camp in New Jersey last time for the Lomachenko fight. So it could be things like that. It could be Vegas or New Jersey.
I guess what would make you come to a conclusion as to where you want to have the camp this time? Is it just random, or is there like more of a preference because of weather or anything like that?
Could be the preference of the weather. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Plays a role, but I mean, not really. More so to say, it's just as long as we can make everything work, and if we can make everything work and everything could actually, I got to see it pan out. I think it'll be the best decision. Yeah, being here in Vegas. How come? It's because of LA, and the Triller headquarters is in LA, and everything. It just plays a better role for us as well. So most likely we'll be doing camp in Vegas. It makes the most obvious sense onto it. And, with the training expenses and everything that plays the role, paying the athletes and the fighters, like the sparring partners and everything. So that also, especially, I know that these sparring partners are definitely going to want to check, but I know that they're going to give me the best work that I need for my preparation for May 29th.
Hey, I got to touch on this since you mentioned sparring. What do you make of that leak clip of you sparring Figueroa? To me,
I like you, Marcos, but you dig in sometimes. I like
well,
you.
no. Let me get
but
to
I
my.
Get you. You got to get yours. You got to grab your bag of
not
shots.
even like that, bro.
You got to grab your bag of
shots. No. This is the point that I was getting to.
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled, okay, since I was like 9 years old up until 17. And it was always taught to us, when you wrestle in the practice room, it doesn't matter who gets the better of you. Doesn't matter if a guy pins you or anything like that. you're practicing. The whole point of that is to practice and to get better. And it doesn't matter. And you don't go and say like, oh yeah, I messed you up in practice, da 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 da. Like that wasn't a thing, and that was always told to us. So I think this happened maybe like 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago. I started hearing all this talk about sparring, 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 sparring. And to me, I'm an older cat, obviously. It didn't make sense as to why people were
I love the fact because they have to in a way of staying relevant. Just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
They all gonna talk. Everybody's quick to talk, but no one is standing on to it. Everybody's so easy to talk on Twitter or make up these or do these videos or whatever they want. But try Teofimo today. Nobody wants to come up and throw me contracts and want to face me. We did that with Loma. How we did it, we had to fight the guy that he was gonna fight. We beat him, knocked him out. So that's the whole thing, man. We like that. We want the smoke, so come at us. And the whole thing is like when that time comes, so nobody does it. Why? Because they know. Everybody knows.
And I also heard too from old time boxers that the sparring is like something you don't share with people or even put stuff out there like that either.
Well, everybody's different. Everybody's different though. We're talking about something that was like maybe almost like it could be 8 years ago. Teofimo ain't the same. Teofimo ain't the same fighter he was with the Lomachenko fight, and everybody's gonna see that when I fight Kambosos.
You were 14 years old then.
People don't even realize that me fighting Lomachenko, not only because we did the work and we did that, and we had a great game plan coming in, but we knew what we could bring to the table. That just elevated me to a whole nother bracket. Yo, you don't even understand. My coach, my father, my trainer, he even knows to a point of degree, and he even said, "Man, you just got fucking better." Sorry for my language. He said, "Man, like you're a lot more sharper. You're so like you're just so tuned in." And I'm like, "Yeah, that thing helped me." He's like, "I know." It's like that fight just made you better, and people are not even gonna know. They're like, "Pobrecito a Kambosos." That's what he said. It's a whole nother level, man. I've learned so many new tricks while fighting that dirty fighter. I've learned so many good tricks. Yo, it's crazy, man, and nobody's ready for it. Nobody, and I can't wait to put that on display. So everybody tune in, and it's gonna be lights out. That's why we call it. It's gonna be lights out Lopez. I'm putting a mark on it, and I'm stamping it.
Lights out Lopez. The takeover Lights Out Lopez. That's the new nickname.
Yes, sir.
Hey, with the Lomachenko fight, and I've heard this from so many people, when they become a world champion, they just feel like they get so much better. And you touched a little bit on it as well. You mentioned he did some tricky things in there. What were those things that you didn't really like that he did?
Something that I didn't like. I just I was like, that's a nice move. I just don't like it on me. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that not bad. Like there was a part where he got in. He didn't do anything. He was just trying to find his distance. But there was a part where he came in, and that was a nice move. It was like in the fight, in the middle, I was like, that was a nice move. But obviously, I'm gonna make sure you don't do that move again. So, but it was nice to pick up on those certain styles that he even had that I not imitated. I'm not gonna follow what he does. It's more so it's a dance. So he was my dance partner that night. I was just trying to whoop on, and we did. So you learn from those guys though. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He has had 396 wins, 1 loss in the amateurs, three division world champion. I mean, this guy he is what a lot of people were saying. He was one of the top dudes, and it still is. In my division, he is after me.
What do you make of people writing him off? A lot of people writing him off now. They say that he's he's not even. I don't even see him in discussion anymore, like on social stuff.
Well, the whole thing is tends to happen to fighters that face Teofimo. Nah, but all jokes aside, for real, on a serious note, that's just part of how it is. Mm-hmm. It's really what it came down to with the whole situation and scenario of Floyd Mayweather. You had 1 loss in the sport of boxing, you're pretty much forgotten. But when it came to UFC, you could have multiple losses and people still support. Conor McGregor comes back into fighting again, they'll still support him even after him getting pounded on by Dustin. So, which I was actually watching that fight with Lil Wayne.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Miami. Yeah, that was when I had posted a flick with him. He has this
Hmm.
whole man. It was a badass spot, man. Has a full skate yard, like skateboard park and everything. A bowling alley, a bar. I mean, it was awesome going out there and yo, real good dude, man. Real good dude.
Did he give you any cool advice or any cool like words of wisdom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Could you
yeah.
share
No, for
some?
sure. I can share. Just like in he had one of these interviews where he pretty much stating about a cup that obviously he was drinking that
Oh
is
yeah,
his
yeah, 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 yeah. I
he
do
said it's
remember
like
that.
his
His thing.
potion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like whatever you got going on is pretty much what he stated out for me.
Hmm.
Don't change it. Don't switch it. And if they
Yeah.
fucking hate, let them.
Mm.
You know. But whatever, if it's working, it's pretty much you got that going. Don't stop and don't even just be smart with what you do financially. He even told me he's like, yeah, yo, I'm obviously Lil Wayne has grew up in the industry. You know, he was 16, 15. You know, he was still in his teens when that happened. So for him, he's seen everything. So it's great. It's great to just talk to him and have that moment. You know, and him kind of pretty much the same thing. You know, big bro, it. Just like give me his 2 cents on how I could probably even do things better. Mhm.
It's always good, yeah, to just soak up knowledge from other people that have accomplished a lot in their lives. Teo, I just want to touch on this really quick. They're saying
Tell me about
Lomachenko, this will
that.
be the
He
last
did
one.
tell me where to invest on things.
Oh, he
Now
did?
I remember.
What, real estate?
Well, yeah, of course, real estate, just certain locations, which was kind of interesting.
They're saying Lomachenko versus Nakatani, a guy that you fought
Hmm.
as well, a guy that upsetted Felix Verdejo. What do you make of that fight?
They have something in common. They've lost to me. I gave them their losses, their first losses.
Is that a good fight for Loma to come back to? Do you favor him in that fight, or do you think Nakatani's might be a little too rugged for him?
I think it's a great matchup for both of those guys. Nagatani ain't no pushover, and Loma isn't either. I mean, look what's going on. The guys that I defeated are now looking better. Richard Comey, he came back and he did a phenomenal job against the Dominican kid. He did real good, and he looked very strong. So the whole thing, I think that it just probably made them better too, in a different way. That's the whole thing about it. At the end of it all, it's a business, but you help each other among that. When you fight those tough fights and those type of competitors or champions, you get better. And you just got some are. I don't understand how people say they believe in themselves, but they don't take those chances. So do you really believe in yourself? But I like going back to that Lomachenko and Nagatani. It's a great matchup, and it'll definitely. I think everybody will be tuning in for it.
Now, touch on back on what you were saying just now. The if you don't believe in yourself,
Yeah,
how people don't take chances.
yeah.
What were you referring to there?
I just felt like I was straying away from the question, so
No, no,
I
but
had
that
to
was
bring it back.
okay. But I'm
Yeah.
just interested to pick your brain on that. Like, what were you heading towards with that?
The whole thing is pretty much like then you cannot accomplish what you're setting out to. You can't have no doubt. You can't say why me. You gotta say why not me. There's a lot of key points into what you tell yourself. So it's all about that. If you tell yourself positive things like I'm going to do it, like I'm gonna make it happen, 10 out of 10 times you make it happen. You just gotta obviously you're gonna go through struggles throughout it all. But I say I'm the best, and I'm like I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. You're gonna have to cut me. You're gonna have to cut me, chop me down, and I still fight you on some other end. Like I just don't care. I believe in myself to the fullest, and the end is just how I feel. I like when it's a fight. That's why in the last round with Lomachenko, I said, "Come on, like ooh, don't get me started, man. I'm. It's like this. It's a switch, man, and that's because it just life made me who I am today. If you look at it, whether it's your creator, however you want to, life makes us and it molds us to what we need to be, come. But a lot of people don't take it that way. Certain people take it in a different way of like, what is what I'm supposed to be, and that's it, and just take that route. No, life for me at least. I'm speaking for myself because everybody has a wrong opinion. I would say we all have wrong opinions. I wouldn't even say an opinion. because nobody is right, right? We don't know, right? So here's my wrong opinion, and it's really so of by stating the things that you want, but you half-ass it, then you're just only gonna get half of it. It's just the truth. It's I'm pretty sure everybody knows, or at least should. The law of attraction, all that stuff plays a big, big role. But you gotta really like just invest on it. How can I say that, Marcos? Are you gonna say that there's someone better than you? No, right? But you're gonna make sure that they believe it too, right?
Mm. And I'm gonna
It's
put
the
in
same.
the work also too to
But how do you make them
confirm that.
believe it? Yeah, how do you make them believe it? You
You
got to
got to
put in the
show
work
out.
for it.
You got to show out.
Yeah,
You got to show out. But
you got to
you know,
show
you
up.
show out based on the work that you put in the work that you've been putting in years and years, because it builds up to that point. It doesn't happen overnight.
At all. This took 18 years, almost 19 years to get to where I'm at. And yeah, we're just scratching the surface. Imagine that. I'm not really scratching the surface, but I'm scratching the surface in another era, in another way. I'm more of an I believe in my the past of the boxers. That's me.
Mm.
I look up to them, I admire them, and I stick to that. So it's like an old time fighter in a modern day era. So I'm just trying to understand even that part, because it's not that I don't understand it. Um, it's just that maybe it's not my cup of tea, but I gotta make it my cup of tea. You get
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not bad. It's just part of it. I just but the whole thing, man, is believe in yourself. And yeah, I make it look like why is it so? It's not hard. To me, it's not hard. I had to go through things and doubts, and I was nervous when I used to get into fights and everything. And I had those butterflies and all that stuff because there was some point there was doubt. Like, what if? You don't want to live with what if. You want to be like, what now? More so of that. Like, just I got this. Now what's next?
Did
Um,
that nervousness in the past come because you didn't put in the work, or you were questioning if you put in enough work?
no, it's just the things that you look forward to when you dream big and they actually come into fruition. You're like, wait, whoa, I didn't expect this,
Mm.
and that plays sometimes. And then there's that doubt. You're like, can I live up to this? You know, and that's what happened before when I was mad young. I think I stopped getting nervous and I started really being so in tune with believing in myself. A lot of people take it as being cocky. How you can't be cocky when you're just confident. I think everybody needs to take that cockiness and cocky. I look at cocky as, yeah, you talk a big game, but you can't back it up. Confidence when you talk a big game and you back it up and you just letting them know I'm that dude. I'm that guy. And so, or you're that woman. You're letting people know. Yeah. So the same thing. You're not gonna say that. Hey, there is that guy that's better than me. No, you might. If anything, I applaud the person that is probably better than me. I probably even applaud them for being where they're at right now. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, man. Because you know what? You just made me realize something that's gonna elevate me more. I want to be where you was at. Maybe I could take you somewhere else. And that's how I don't ever. I'm not saying don't ever. People have their way of life. I've learned to not. I don't even like. I applaud all the people that are with their successes all the time, and it's not even because it's out of um out of wanting something. It's more so of that's good. That motivated me now. Thank you. I needed that. But I applaud you for doing your successes because we all going our different routes. Everybody has a different route. Everybody has a different road. Just a good amount of us like to just take the same road because it's a lot easier, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing neither. It's just there's a few in that percentage that come and they want to do something different. Everybody has everybody has the way they want to live. I can never be content or complacent. That's why people tell me, well, you got everything. There's no such thing as everything when it comes to success. There's not. Now, success never ends. I love mine. I have, love yours. I put out there from J. Cole and everything. I listen. Like that's my thing. There's always but that's touching on another base, man. People get to know Teofimo. Whether it is what it is. I'm gonna be the most cockiest, confident fighter when it comes to that, because that's my sport, and that's what I do. I bring to the table. You fighting for me, Marcos,
Bro,
but you can't fight. You can't fight for me in the ring. You
no.
see what I mean?
At the end
I
of the
got to do
day,
that part.
it all comes down to you. But the confidence part, have you always been confident even since you were a little kid? Like growing up, that you felt that you were meant for great stuff?
No, to be honest, no,
No.
no, no, no. That takes time, man. That's
Yeah.
discipline. That's like practice.
Mm.
And that's just practicing over time, over time, over time, and eventually doing the things, and it becomes that. And then you become like I am. You become that, and then that's when you have to take. Then that's when you have the option to do bad with it or good with it. That's your option.
Hmm.
That's when you take that route. You're like, what do I want to do with it though? So everybody has their way of looking at it. So
Mm.
that confidence builds over time, and I think that maybe with due time, a lot of these other fighters are gonna have that confidence more. Because I know they all have that. And I'm just telling them, man, that's what you do. Just have fun. Just have fun. The hard part is done. We did the training, we did the weight cutting, which is terrible for all of us. And then you do the fun part. But you do it in a way of not trying to there's too many people that want to just do what the next person just did. You want to do what the next person probably did, yeah, but and some, just switch it around. It's a switch, but you got to know yourself first. Confidence level comes with knowing yourself, knowing oneself, understanding themselves and what they want in their life and why they doing. Why you got to find out why you're doing what you're doing.
See, that's a very good point, and I want to point that out for the younger viewers, that that's a very important thing. Like, because it takes a lot of time for any person growing up to really be comfortable with themselves, and really say like, no, I understand me, I know myself. Like, I didn't get to that point until I was like 26, 27, when I finally felt okay with who I was, okay with what I stood for, and I really felt comfortable in my skin. And I think, man, if I would have felt that way when I was younger, oh my God, like I could have accomplished so much more.
I just hit that right now.
You did. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like, you're very lucky to have hit that at this early on in your point, where a lot of people your age still don't know who they are, what they're going through, what they're meant to do in life.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the unlucky ones that don't, and I mean, life is short. Life is short. So you just gotta do what you can with it and make it, like I said, um, live your best life. That's it. Live your best life. And if for all the fighters, and if they like that route, they're living their best life. What can we really do? The whole thing, of course, like that. When I mentioned the takeover promotions and all those things, that's the key point where I'm trying to guide them to. And maybe they don't like the idea. I don't know who wouldn't like the idea of making $200,000 or more every month, or $1 million every month, just without even doing nothing, just sitting on your butt and even if it was 50,000, you're making 50,000 a month for the rest of your life without even fighting anymore. And you could go and train and just stay in shape, but you don't even have to like worry about fighting someone to make another check. And I'm just talking about for boxing, and but when it comes to all different things, we're athletes, yeah, but we're gonna get hurt. Man. I had to learn that though. I learned that back in 2018 when I broke my hand. So you just have to go through it. That's really what it comes down to. We all gotta live our life. It's not a loss; it's a lesson. It's what you do with it. So sometimes you're not gonna get more than one lesson from it.
Man,
Mhm.
that's true, man. That's Life is a series of failures and lessons that get you to the point at where you're at, and it's up to
People
you.
make fun of me now, like
Yeah.
my no, sorry, yeah, sorry, Marcos. Um, a lot of people, man, like at least my team, man. It's funny how they see me now, and they're like, yesterday they even talked about it. There was a certain amount of there was a good person that was there at the as well in the facility that we pretty much ran into each other, I hear one of them while I was talking to that person. I hear one of their people's like, man, he's a freaking animal in the ring, but he's like the most kindest dude. And like, how is like, he's a kind-hearted dude. I don't know. It's a switch, but I don't need to keep that on. I guess that part of it also helped when I'm not telling everybody to get married. I'm just telling people like when you find that right person for you, that right fit, you know.
Balance.
Yeah, it's all about balance. When you
Yeah.
find that right balance.
Yeah. That's it's finding the like serenity in your life, like where everything's going well, everything's going good, everything, you're not getting pulled in one place or the other. And yeah, people struggle to find that their whole entire lives. Some find it early, like others it takes longer also as well. But it's like a very zen like thing. And I know a lot of fighters are like you in terms of, man, how can they be such savages in the ring, but outside of the ring, like they're the nicest people, like ever. Like they're very kind and thoughtful. And my interactions with fighters is that, man, like I want to say 99% of fighters are like the kindest people, like outside of all this, just the sweetest people.
But then there's that 1%, and sometimes they like to exploit that 1%
There is
and
that
make it as
1%.
a. There's always that 1% where they want to exploit that and then make it seem like where they want to make it seem like a stereotype type of
Hmm.
thing.
Like the
You
mean, the
know,
mean fighter that's, yeah, always lashing out and always, yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
That's true. Hey Teo,
Don't get
man,
it twisted though. I'm mean, bro.
in the ring you are in the ring,
I'm
yeah,
mean.
in the ring. Hey
Nah, but
man,
I see the thing is like, but I gotta be nice because if not, then of course, then I'm a brand, you know, I'm a businessman. So it's like I gotta put that out. I can't, bro. I'm a clean dude, clean cat.
you're a good kid,
Stay
bro.
that way.
You're a good kid. And I remember your dad telling me this one time in Vegas. He was talking about you, and he's like, "Man, how did I get so lucky to have such a good kid?" And I'm like, "Well, it's because of you, man. Like, you made
Yeah.
sure he grew up the right way, and I remember we were at the MGM, actually, at it's by the
Which
slot
one?
machines,
The
the
oh,
whiskey
okay.
place. That was
You
before
talking
your.
about not Tennessee? Well, you got the song Tennessee whiskey, but I know what you're talking about. Where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
where
yeah.
they
Not the country one, but the other one. I remember we were there all just chatting and stuff like that. And I remember your dad's like, "Man, I can't believe it, man. I have such a good kid, man. I'm so lucky." And I'm like, "It's because of you, man. You made sure that he grew up the right way, not like how you may have, and that's a big part of you, So you should take credit in that."
Yeah, absolutely. I tell them that, man. I appreciate him for it. I think everybody has just their own thing, but like I said, I know people. The only problem I would say, judge not, let's be judged first. And the other thing I could say to that is, um, sometimes people take kindness for weakness, and that's the problem where a lot of people don't want to look weak, but it's not even weak. He's just being kind. And some people just take that as weakness. So
Well, they think they
until they
could
want
take
to.
advantage of you. Like they think that they could ask you and keep asking you for stuff, or take advantage of your good nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that plays where to be you. Don't be you. Be who you want to become and be. And then at the end of it, man, just I know we've been talking about it, but just live your best life, man. That's it.
You got to live
That's
your
all.
best life. Hey Teo, I know we've been on here for a while. I didn't expect for this to go as long as it did. Um, if I can just bother you really quick, if you could just give me quick breakdowns of these three fights coming up, and we'll go ahead and end it. Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. They're saying for May. Break that down real quick.
Um, I think it's a fight that it's a step up for Devin. Even though Jorge Linares is a little more so outdated, however, it's a step up. Compared to Gamboa, Linares has been well rested, so it should be a we should see the best Linares fighting Devin Haney, and we'll see what Devin Haney can bring to the table. I think it's a good fight, really is. It's a good fight for the sport, and may the best man win. I'm looking forward to Devin Haney winning. That's who I want to win, so that way we can make a matchup happen.
Would you be surprised if Jorge won?
No, it's boxing, man. Anything can happen. So that's the whole thing. Boxing, anything can happen.
The next fight, Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders. Break it down for us, Teo.
Billy Joe Sanders. Okay. And Canelo, that's a great fight, man. I think it's good. Billy Joe hasn't fought since when, Marcos?
Whew. He had
A
one fight
while.
last year, one fight.
Yeah, so going into someone like Canelo who's been active lately, it's gonna be a turnaround. Canelo knows his distance, already knows the range, with the small gloves and everything. So it's definitely it's gonna be really a huge challenge for him to overcome. But anything's possible. I mean, look what we did with Lomachenko. So anything's possible. May the best man win. I think that everybody. I'm rooting for Canelo, and I'm also rooting for Billy Joe. But who I got to pick the side on? It's gonna be Canelo. He's in his prime right now.
Does anybody at 168 beat Canelo? Because they're saying after Saunders, there's Caleb Plant, but then a lot of people mention David Benavidez.
Caleb Plant. It'll be a very technical fight. I will be more in tune with that fight than David Benavidez. Yeah, but I know everybody wants to see Mexico versus Mexico, and that's always a great fight and always a great turnaround. I would definitely love to see though after this Canelo and Caleb Plant.
Does Caleb
Yeah.
Plant give Canelo trouble?
Yes, yes. Styles make fights. I think it's definitely going to be a great fight though. A great
I
fight.
love that fight. I love that fight just because of what
I
you said,
believe it.
Styles. It's a lot of people give me crap about this, and they're like, "What are you talking about, Marcus?" I'm like, "No, like Caleb can give him trouble. It's just his movement. Like he's a tricky guy."
Just like Canelo is, and that makes it a much more dynamic fight.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they can make that happen because then it's great to see it could become undisputed at 168, which would be awesome for both guys. I'm rooting for. At the end of it, man, I don't know, maybe Caleb can pull something, man.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to wait and see, man. These are just things that we're just throwing out right now. It's not done yet.
That's true. Canelo has to get past Billy Joe Saunders. The last fight here, Teo, Gervonta Davis is saying potentially moving up to 140 pounds. Why are you laughing?
Because you kind of were like, oh, gee, like, oh man,
No,
like
no.
that was a facial expression, like,
No, I'm trying to
man.
read. I'm trying to read my notes here. I'm going. See, this is what happens when you get old, bro. You can't see your own notes that you write on your computer because your eyesight starts going, man. I finally hit that point, which is terrible because I'm not even 40 yet. But they're talking about Gervonta moving up to 140 pounds to fight Mario Barrios.
For what, like the WBA interim or something?
It's one of those, the WBA.
Yeah, it'd be one of to say that he's a 3 division world champion. I can see that happening. I could definitely see that coming into because that right now is just talks, right?
They're talking
Or
about it. They're talking that's potentially the next fight for him.
yeah, I can see it, man. Hey, good for him, man. May he do what he got to do. That's what. Hey, I think that he's too small at 140. But he's fighting someone that is obviously some sort of champion, and yeah, it'd be good for the sport, somewhat.
Somewhat. You're not a fan of it, huh?
No. I don't think a lot of us are like, what the hell? Seriously?
Well,
Like
it's coming out of left field because he fought Leo at what weight? What weight was that fight at? I think it was at 130 pounds,
130.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's coming out of left field. My thing is if he has the power to stop a 140 pounder, like is he gonna campaign then at 140 pounds? Is he gonna move back to 130? And then it's like the talk with you and him. If he moves up to 140 and you're saying you want to get a crack at Ramirez, it's just like a lot of things like swirling there.
Yeah, but I think I see what's going on, the pattern. Everybody got to see a pattern. A lot of people don't tend to catch on to patterns. WBA at 130, interim or silver or regular champion, then WBA regular champion at 135. And now they're trying to go back to a WBA where they become the interim champion or regular champion with the WBA at 140, so he can say that he's the 3-time division world champion. 3 division world champion, and it always looks better on a resume. Then they get the stacks of trying to become I should be on the pound for pound list because of X, Y, and Z of becoming, yeah. So I can see the pattern. Kudos to him. Do what you got to do, my man.
Do you see if he stays at? Do you think it happens at 140? You and him then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they say that it's gonna happen at 140, then there you go. There's a opposite. There's a right there that could happen.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that'd be crazy.
So,
say you face the winner Ramirez and Taylor, and then
Yep.
you end up winning, and then he's there at 140. Like, oh my God, that's a monster fight right there.
Yeah, I think it'll be great for boxing, because a lot of people think that with his power and everything that with me being with my power, that it just makes it anybody one punch could probably end the night for somebody.
No way that fight goes 12 rounds, right? No way.
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way.
There's no way. Like your guys is just what you guys both like. Your
me
firepower.
me and Comey, who is the hardest hitter at 135, outside of myself, when we fought. I mean, look how quick that was. It was it's just one of those fights. I don't know about Davis though. I think why he's going to 140, because he probably reached 190.
It's no secret that he does blow up in weight out of camp.
That is so bad. Sorry, man. I
no,
know.
It's true, man. No, it is bad.
Yo, kid you not,
it's hard to make weight.
I became undisputed. I got all the belts, and unlike some fighters or some people, they may go and celebrate, be on vacation, and then wait till they get a fight. Nah, man, I don't know what it was, but that when I accomplished that and the history behind it, that not only did it humble me, but it made me driven even more. Not saying that he's not, but at the moment the results don't show. So, don't ever, like I said, don't be complacent, because then it's a harder climb to get back up.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's just I just know from me cutting weight, like you get to a point where you just want to enjoy life. That you just want to enjoy life a little bit and eat the things that you haven't been able to eat for so long, and it's like it gets to a point where you get fed up and you're just like, dude, I just want to live life. I just want to live life for a little bit and enjoy all the normal things that everybody else enjoys.
But you still can. We all will, and we all can. Just take care of your body. Your body's your temple.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not fed properly or taken care of properly, then then you can't really function up here. Then everything else just comes into it falls. It falls. Everything happens because of us. At the end of the day, it's because of us. So if something happens, we have a bad night, that's because of us, or whatever it is. That's it, man.
It's your attitude. It's the attitude that it's the attitude that you choose to approach a certain situation.
They all want to be Mayweather and $100 million, but what did Floyd? Floyd trained like if he was broke. Everybody got a different way, and he was still able to live his lavish life and not blow up. So what's their excuse? So I'm just the truth, man. Just say how it is, man.
Hey, man, that's why I think people appreciate it. People always appreciate truth over everything, because at least you know where someone stands. I think a majority of people do. I'd rather have someone I'd rather know where someone stands than someone me wondering that's why I've always been very upfront with people too, and I've rubbed people off the wrong way, because I just tell them what I always felt that that's the best way, because at least I know I'm not lying to myself.
Yeah, ain't no lies here, man. Everything I say is however they want to cut it, slice it. It's just who I am, but I just speak it out. And I'll even, if I know that I'm not satisfied with something with myself, then I'll put that out too. I ain't perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Only man perfect is God. I'm a God-fearing man. I'll leave that alone. Yeah, man. Only man I fear is God. The only man I respect is my father. So everybody else, that's how it is, man. That's how I live my life.
Good stuff. Teofimo Lopez here with us. You could catch him on Triller. He said May 29th, but also June, one of those 2 dates as well. Defends all his lightweight titles against George Kambosos Jr. on Triller. Teo, man, hey, this was such a good chat. I learned a lot more about you. Yeah, but it was good, man. It was a very good one. I always appreciate the time talking to you, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Marcos. And man, keep doing your thing. It's always a pleasure doing business with you and going on here. So it's always good to speak out. And yeah, man, for everybody, it's the takeover times Triller. It's Triller times takeover. And it's Teofimo Lopez, undisputed lightweight world champion. And you can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, and Triller at Teofimo Lopez.
There you go. The lightweight champion of the world, Teofimo Lopez. Thank you so much.
Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.